Hey, what's up, fam? How y'all doing? It's the Broke Capitalist coming back at you. Got my bad boy shirt on today. I got some real good stuff for you. Basically, another warning. Um, but hey, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, share this content if you get something out of it. Really appreciate that. Leave some comments below, and we can start a discussion on this topic. And let's just dive right into it. This is going to be a timeless video. So let's get into it. Boom. All right. You caught me reading CNN. I know you're probably surprised, but hey, it just showed up on my feed. Uh, but let's talk about being employed or unemployed at a $15 an hour federal minimum wage, which they haven't enacted, but trust me, it'll get through sooner or later. But this came across my feed, and I've been talking about this subject, not on YouTube, but I've been burning the ears of those in my vicinity since I picked up this book, and you guys have probably seen this before, and it's called it's like a magazine, whatever. Time issued it, The Rise of the Robots, and the crazy thing about it is it was written in 2013, and in this book it talks about pretty much what I'm gonna talk about right now. All right, and before we get into that, it concerned me so much that among other things that had me wondering what's going on, blah blah blah, that played into the rise of the robots, played into the writing of this book, Our Two Societies. Go pick it up, y'all. It's on Kindle, audiobook, and paperback. It's won 2 awards, worth your time. Go check it out. But let's dive into this. All right. So here at McDonald's drive-thru in Chicago suburb, customers may notice something different about the voice that takes their orders for Big Macs and fries. Okay, you've guessed it. It's a machine. So in 2019, they're deploying this technology. Surprise. And basically, all technology is deployed to make things more efficient for the people who bought the technology. Now they got to spin it somehow not to make the customers pissed off or their employers pissed off or scared. And how are they spinning this? Well, in 2019, the average McDonald's drive-through took 6 minutes and 18 seconds. But recently, the company trimmed that to 5 minutes and 49 seconds in 2020. Okay, you get what, 30 seconds of your life back. Okay, with drive-throughs accounting for a larger share of fast food sales than ever before in top markets at 70% of sales at McDonald's, the race is on for major change to get those speeds even faster. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay. I don't even know what to say to that, man. Companies are now experiencing with smart menus, Alexa-style assistants, automated ordering and payment processing, and even payments driven by facial recognition, right? Technology is changing the experience, and I think it is got what, and I think it got thrust into overdrive by the pandemic, blah, 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 blah. Of course, McDonald's didn't have any idea this was coming, blah, blah, blah. Before the pandemic, the customer focused on improving the overall drive-through experience. Over the past couple of years, McDonald's has cut its service time by 30 seconds per customer. When is the last time you sat in a drive-through and was like, you know what? The last time I went to Burger King or the last time I went to Wendy's, I swear it's about 30 seconds faster than it was when I went to McDonald's. I'm never going to a McDonald's, ever. I don't care if it's in the sparsely populated area, because 30 seconds, man, is vital. So yeah, who are these people? The past couple of years, McDonald's has cut its service time by 30 seconds per customer, helped in part by a simpler menu. But in March, when COVID forced closures across multiple industries, it made even more aggressive cuts. A change in that franchise owners said a a change that franchise owners said could ensure blazing fast services. All day breakfast was out, blah blah blah. And basically they made the menus simpler so you don't have that guy in front of you like, what do I want? You know, Bill Burr did a great routine on that guy. Over the last few years, McDonald's also deployed new technology in the aim to modernize its operation and entice customers to order more food. Blah 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 blah. You know, here's another reason to roll out AI. Humans sometimes forget to greet people. They forget. They make mistakes. They don't hear as well. And then below, they talking about below in this article, they talk about how they're currently having problems with the AI being able to understand orders when you have screaming kids in the background. But um, yeah. So let's get to this. White Castle, right? So White Castle, which has drive-throughs at 95% of its 362 restaurants, is one example. The preponderance of drive-throughs has allowed the business to stabilize. During the pandemic, says Jamie Richardson, the family-owned burger chain vice president, da 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 da. And in November, the company started testing its own automated ordering system at the drive-through of a White Castle somewhere in Indiana. So don't just get mad at McDonald's because they, deploying this automation. If one company does it, everybody else has to do it, right? You literally have to, especially if you're a corporation. If there's a business opportunity out there, you have a fiduciary duty that you owe to stockholders to take advantage of. If you don't, you're in breach of that duty. That's I'll let somebody else tell you about that. Okay. In the same restaurant that already hosts a burger grilling robot from Miso Robots. So not only do they have the automated order taker, they got a robot flipping burgers. Now you sit back and say, I want a minimum wage of $15 an hour. It is not fair that people have to live on $15 an hour. Well, guess what? You're going to be happily unemployed at $15 an hour. Why would, if I owned a franchise, right, a burger franchise, whatever, why would I employ somebody who I have to pay a wage that gradually goes up at the whim of a politician who may get sick, uh, who may cuss out a customer, who may spill some hot chocolate on me and on the customer and get sued? Uh, oh, these are a lot of teenagers working at these fast food joints. Guy breaks up with his girlfriend, can't come into work. He's heartbroken. Girl breaks up with her boyfriend. She's heartbroken, can't come to work. Girl breaks up with her girlfriend, heartbroken, can't come to work. People don't know how to show up on time. The robots don't leave, right? Why? And you pay for the robot once. And I did a video on this about, I don't know, maybe a year ago, where it had Flippy the robot, which cost, I think at the time, it was either 62,000, yeah, it was $62,000. Period. That's it. And if you take a $15 minimum wage times it by hours you work per year, which is 2,080, you got around $30,000. So you can pay 2 yearly salaries without healthcare benefits involved, employment, payroll taxes involved, you can do that, or you can continue to employ a human being. Okay, let's continue on. Skip some. This is literally true at the drive-through at Fair Oaks Burger, a family-owned restaurant in somewhere in California, which is using facial recognition systems that let customers pay without using cash or a credit card. It may also speed up service, allowing the company to sell more meals. So hey, remember that? Oh man, what? I gotta dig in my wallet, take out this credit card, hand it to a human being. That human being has to take that credit card, put it into a credit card reading machine, wait a couple of seconds, get that credit card back, hand it back to me. Then I gotta take my credit card, put it back in my wallet. Oh my God, what is the world coming to? Life is so hard. We need a solution to this major problem. Well, hey, they just solved that with Pop Pay. Now you just drive up, read your license plate and or your face, and they just bill you. So no exchange of money or nothing. So Pop Pay grew out of Pop ID, a facial recognition system initially created to speed up the ordering process at self-service kiosks at the burger chain create called Cali Burger. The technology and Cali Burger are owned by Cali Group along with the aforementioned burger grilling bot maker Miso Robots. These days, Pop Pay is used at a range of restaurants and stores in Pasadena, West Los Angeles area, including California-based lemonade restaurant chain. Blah 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 blah. Facial recognition technology is controversial, but it ain't going nowhere. Um, and here's where they talk about give me some castles. Give me here under this. Give me some castles with cheese is where they talk about the AI having difficulties understanding the human voice with other human voices in the background. Um, one of the problems they're trying to eliminate with human beings. Yeah, man. Tell me anything. Um, let's go down here. Many of these changes at the drive-through are automated tasks normally handled by humans, which could make employees worry about losing their jobs to computers. Here you go, y'all. Here you go. Here's the magic trick. They're gonna make you not worry about losing your job at all. A concern heightened given high unemployment due to the pandemic. This person, an economist and professor at MIT, pointed out that as automation process proceeds over time, it reduces the need for low skilled and moderately skilled workers who typically do not have college degrees, period. Now, I'm going to stop here and say something. What type of college degree? Right? Because in 2021, if you got a degree in the humanities, if you were a junior in college or a freshman in college and you declaring to be an English major, a sociology major, an African American studies major, a women's studies major, guess what? Everything you learn is in this phone. And you about to pay, depending on the college, 100 grand for what's in my phone. So, as the great Thomas Sowell says, get skills other people are willing to pay for. Take your ass to the engineering department and learn how to create something besides just creating debt for yourself, right? All right, anyway, ideally, he said companies will use workers. Okay, I lost my place. Ideally, he said companies will use these workers for other tasks. Ideally, right? Ideally. Let me put this in context for you. How many people did it take to make a car in 1960? You don't know, do you? I used to know. I forgot. But it don't matter. Now I'm gonna ask you another question. How many people does it take to make one Tesla? A lot less. Technology doesn't stop, right? It doesn't stop. So instead of, being up in arms about it, we got to be aware of it. So being aware of it, you got to make decisions that are appropriate to what's coming down the pipeline. Now, you may say, well, I ain't see this coming. I know why you ain't see it coming, because mainstream media and a lot of politicians are playing three-card Molly with your reality. They want you focused on everything but this, because there ain't nothing politicians can do about technology. There's now been one time in human history that I know of where technology went backwards. Once someone creates it, it's out there. It's gonna get out there sooner or later. I found one example in the 1920s where the Rust brothers created something, a new way of picking cotton, ironically, uh, that was so revolutionary, they thought it would disrupt the entire farming industry. So they held it back. Now, I can't remember exactly what the invention was, but eventually it got out there, and hey, what, 1-2% of people now are farmers in the United States. So they ain't gonna stop. But here's the thing. How have we missed this? Especially a lot of young folks, people my age and younger. How have we missed this? How are we not prepared for this? Well, I tell you, if you look like me, most of your life, all your problems have been blamed on slavery or racism or both. And who's been telling you this? People who profit off of your problem, mainly politicians or race hustlers. Well, it's been my goal to make available true information to those who want it, right? Hey, it's the information age. Ignorance is an option, right? So what I've republished this book written in 1846 by an abolitionist called William Channing, to get the real facts about what people really thought about slavery in the 19th century. Not, don't get it from, these are the people who are cited, right? So I've taken some of this 18th century verbiage and the way some things are written and made it easier to read. So go check it out. And here, one of the most important books in American history, The Impending Crisis of the South by Hinton Helper. This book was outlawed in the southern states. 3 people were hanged in Arkansas for having it. It was illegal to distribute it. This is real facts. Go look it up. And the reason why, one reason, it gave statistics, not just any statistics. It was the first book to cite statistics, and it cited it on how slavery was screwing poor white people. The author, Hinton Helper, former slave owner, he wasn't like, he wasn't all about, the benevolence of the slave. Like, oh, let's take care of these poor slaves. He was like, look, poor white people, you getting screwed. And here are the facts to show you how you getting screwed. You being lied to, right? This is written in 1857, before the Civil War, right? It gives statistics about land wealth in the South compared to the North. I mean, it's talking about how the city of, was it New York? Was it Baltimore? New York City was worth more than all of the entire state of North Carolina. How cotton is king was a lie, and statistically shows it was a lie. He gives there's letters in here from some of the founding fathers about how they felt about Blacks in America, all positive. And I know all of us learned the total opposite. We all learned that the founding fathers were a bunch of racists. Well, all you got to do is read the original draft of the Declaration of Independence, which is also in here, and it'll show you how the original founding fathers were trying their best, as America as a colony since the 1600s, were trying their best to get rid of slavery. But it was England who kept slavery alive in the colonies. Anyway, too much to talk about. It's a thick book, great book to have. You got to go get it. Got to read it. And with that, I'm out. Hope you got something out of this. Peace. Have a good day. Leave some comments. Share this video. Have a good weekend.